Okay, hi.
Oh, hi. It is the Sexual Podcast and Relationships. And we just got back from a whole week away with both of our husbands.
We sure did.
And I mean, I'm curious on vacation when you're with your kids.
Yeah.
How many people actually have sex with their partners, knowing that you're basically sharing a hotel room? Now, our hotel room did have a room, like the kids' room had a door on it.
Yeah.
But as if they were ever going to close that door.
Never.
I appreciate for the families whose kids don't leave the room that
or
there's
if
a
you have
hallway.
teenagers.
Yeah, that it's all like private like that. But like, did a lot of those parents with young kids, were they like having sex?
Ooh. No. Europeans, yes.
Oh, Europeans.
Yeah, Europeans
have sex with the door open, the kids in the room.
Oh
They're
my
like, this is
God.
what love is called. So many Europeans at the resort. But like, our husbands would definitely have sex.
Oh yeah, with the lights on, the baby's awake, the whole world wide awake. You know,
I heard someone say, I've been to Dominican 3 times and never had sex in it.
Oh. Is that someone related to you?
To you.
Oh.
I know.
Oh yeah.
And my husband, the two husbands are just like,
I mean, I'm sorry. I think that number one, I'm so tired by the end of the day after dealing with everybody and everything. I'm not like, I'm always so fun. No. Number two, a family vacation is a family vacation. That's not a real vacation.
Anybody could end up in your bed at any time.
That's not a relaxing. It's fun. It's great bonding time. It's not relaxing for me. Half the days I never sat down.
Oh
like
my
it's
gosh.
like I was like moving. That's great if you're in a good place that you feel relaxed and calm. But for me, it's like when I went to bed, it was the time that it was like silent.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Not that it wasn't fun or amazing.
No.
It's that I did. It's like,
and it was hot as fuck.
and you're minutiating a lot of people and to the thing, to the back, to the thing. Like it's like you are on go constantly. And so for me, I'm like, this is not a place for me. Like this is not.
Well,
and also the pillows weren't comfortable.
Yeah, but also I feel like to myself, then isn't this a cue to the husbands? Well, first of all, to sit back and be like, wow, you moms are amazing. Because I don't think that they had anything to do with the packing.
Nope.
I don't think they had anything to do with the packing up after. Mine did pack up my room because I was like, I'm done. I found a relaxing spot. I'm not moving. But everything we did. So I was thinking not only did they totally score with us as wives, but also to look at a vacation like that and everything that we do. Like,
It's a vacation for them.
All of the like toothbrushes, toothpaste, medication, like if all of it. But also I'm like, don't you think that this should say like, our wives are so busy. Maybe sometime we should take them away alone. Because not only would they get nookie panub in all the wrong places, but they would also have a moment to relax. Like
a moment like this.
A moment like this. I got home last night and I just wanted to be alone.
Yeah.
Alone. So I tried to get them, like they were in whatever. I threw them all, got them all clean. And then I got into my bed and I turned on a Dateline because I'm obviously addicted. And I just wanted to be all alone.
Yeah. That's how I felt every night.
Yeah.
Every fucking night.
There's no chance to be alone.
No, I want to be
there.
I was like, it's like you get into bed at 10:30, 11, and it's like as if. I'm sorry. You know, I think the biggest, greatest mistake of all time is equating sex with wanting, desire, and
attraction.
Like attraction and healthy relationships. I think it's such bullshit, and I think that's like saying that everyone should like avocados and bananas, all equally the same because they're like two universally like food that people should like. It's not true. Why does everyone have a choice of what they like when and what it means to them but that one moment? Because someone has just decided it means this. Now, listen, I'm not saying that having a relationship of like intimacy and connection and all that shit's not important, because that is also part and parcel with sex. So you're telling me that we're on vacation and you can't see the forest for the trees, that we are actually having a very intimate vacation where we're together, we're family bonding.
It was very intimate.
Look at the relationship as a pie, not a hair pie, but a circle pie. sex is a piece of the pie, but so are so many other things. And everyone just looks at the health of the relationship under one category, and then what you equate to it. So everyone is bringing in their baggage into the sex relationship, but no one talks about it. It's just sort of like, if you don't, or if you do, and if you don't, well, you're fucking divorcing. And if you do, well, congratulations, you're winning. Not true. You can have all the sex on vacation and then fight all day and be a shitty parent to your kids.
Absolutely.
But that could be attractive to some people.
Yeah, I'm just like, well, I just felt like if you see how hard it is and how tiring it is, don't you just sort of feel like if I was a man and I wanted to see my wife relaxed and happy,
that should be a boner right there.
Oh,
like that should be an orgasm, just watching you happy and relaxed.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that should be an orgasm for them.
That's when you're going to have time and energy to want to even think about your body and wanting to like make pleasure together.
Did you just say
make pleasure? I was going to say get pleasure, and then I was going to say give him pleasure, and then I was like, just make like the recipe of
make waves of pleasure.
Yeah, I just think it's so funny, like when men are just like, oh, like make those jokes. It's like, first of all, it's like not that funny anymore, and also like
you're such a loser,
and also like
not you.
Nothing's changed. So you just want to just keep having this narrative for the rest of forever?
Yeah, I do. I don't. They do.
I told them I was going to get them hookers,
and
they said,
"How'd that go over?"
They were both there. I said, "We're just going to go hire you guys some hookers." They said something stupid, probably.
Oh, you don't remember what they said?
Somebody said that's not going to make me want it less or something like that.
It's so boring, that conference.
I showed you sent me the picture of Kristen Cavallari and her man.
Yes.
And so I showed Mark, and then he was like, I don't even know, like, ugh. And I was like, he was kind of like, how can that be good for her? And I was like we say, that is a relationship that they have no family together. They have no money together.
No.
They have no business together. She just gets to there's only goodness coming out of that.
Yeah.
And I was trying to explain, there's nothing complicated.
Nothing.
And I'm like, and that's just, she deserves that. She's earned that.
It's just, she wakes up and it's simple.
It's simple.
Now, I'm not saying he has a simple life, but I am saying is that the simplicity
their relationship
and a new relationship is simple in terms of all you think about is your emotions to each other. There's no other noise. There's no other. It's simple in the beginning, and it should be simple in the beginning because that's how you withstand like the long haul is by having the simplicity.
Through the beginning.
The simplicity. If you're having a hard time and you just started dating, red flag.
I would say
red flag. If there's already issues, get the fuck out. If you're having red flags,
it's not going to get better. It's not going to get easier because things get more and more complicated. I swear, relationship is just like running. It's like running a very, very complicated business with so many employees and benefits and HR and all of that.
Let's do this. Let's give advice to our younger selves. So we're going to give advice. If I was to give, I'll give to your children, to our children. Because you all listen to this, so we might as well just get it right out there. This is the sex and relationship advice I would give to you. If you were, we'll go through the stages. Let's start 12, 13. What would you say your 12 and 13-year-old self?
Well, first of all, I want to tell myself when I look back at who I was, you did everything perfect, Natalie.
Wow, bruh, fucking hell. What did you do perfectly?
I wouldn't change a thing.
What's the advice you'd give to someone who wasn't you?
I mean, I know everybody's different, but I feel like your teenage years and your 20s feel like they'd be a lot less fun if you just dated one person and got into that serious relationship for all those years, because I feel like there's so much experimentation that needs to happen individually as a person that if you're in such a tight relationship with one person, you're going to miss out on some things and you're going to make some decisions not based on what you want, but what you as a couple want.
Exactly.
And I think you really need to figure out your own self by yourself, whether that, and you could just be having different boyfriends, being single. And I have a boyfriend for a long time. And I got to figure out me without somebody's opinion or judgment or like we didn't have to take into consideration anybody else's feelings.
So I was lying by the pool, and the girls and I, we get to talking. The girls, I get the girls. Natalie gets the boys. It always happens. Taylor, it's usually my family and Taylor. Max with her family. It's never fails. Taylor's always Taylor's always like, are we surprised it's just us? I always
and then I get Chloe on my own. I do get Olivia on my own too, but yeah, I don't get the girls.
So we're talking about relationships, and they asked me, I said to one of them, I was like, well, do you want a boyfriend? And they were talking. Once you get them talking,
oh, mine's ready to settle down. Did she let you know?
Well, I didn't want to say which one it was. Anyways, I said, well, would I want you to have a boyfriend? They both asked me, and I said, well, no, I would not want you to have a boyfriend. And then the other one goes, not even me have a boyfriend. And I was like, no. And then the other one's like, but why? And I was like, well, think about it this way. You're not taking that boyfriend anywhere after high school. You might not even last that long. And I said, so if you're going to get all in with one guy, he's gone by high school. And if he's not, I'm going to I know this is unpopular opinion, but I'm going to highly recommend you take a break or take a break. You can't date someone for 5 years in your formative years and think I know it feels like you're in love. You're not. You're in love for 15. But when that person, you have to look at about a budget. It's not about love when you grow up.
She goes to me, you know what? We saw that older guy, and she's like, I don't know if that guy's 18 or 25. And she goes, you know what though? Maybe I need an older guy. They're ready to settle down. She goes, I just want to be married. I looked at her, I go, why? Because it looks so awesome.
So I said, you're going to miss out on a whole bunch of things because you're going to be thinking and have to talk to someone about all the things you're doing. Where are you going? What are you doing? I'm going here Friday night. I don't want to go there Friday night. Where do you want to? Oh, wait, I saw you talking to that guy. I saw you. Oh. And I said, does that in your age right now, does that seem like it could be fun? Because I know it sounds like fun. It looks like fun.
It could be fun for a month.
Exactly. And I just said, just think about what you take from high school is all your memories. Do you want all your memories with one person? You're going to take all your girlfriends with you for the rest of your life. You're going to take your guy for a few months. I said, just remember that because this is your time to be free. And I mean, they probably won't listen to me, but I just said,
so far it's going great.
I said, it's just a really unique time in your life where there is no strings attached and you get to be you as you. And I hope that you can have a relationship and be respectful and really like them, but understand that being in love with someone when you're a teenager is fun because someone's taking care of everything for you. The house, your food, your transportation, right. All you have to do is just have fun with the person you're in love with. When you have to become an adult with someone, that is not the teenager person. That's not the same person. Sorry.
I was never jealous, of those girls who had those long-term boyfriends in high school because I always felt like they had to miss out on so many things because they had to go over to his house or they had to go to his party.
Go on vacation together.
They were they were baby married.
You want to go on vacation when you're 16 with your boyfriend? Ew.
I had a family member be like, because I used to be like, oh, you guys. And they're like, you're just jealous because you don't have one. I'm like, oh, no. Because I knew it was going to come when the time was right, And I was just like, I don't need to be in a relationship. This doesn't look like that much fun.
I got it. And I think that dating is a lot of fun. I think having a boyfriend's going to prom with them. It's
like
fun.
A summer romance. Oh, yeah. She's like, oh, prom. I go, oh my God, you have 2 years. And listen, I went to prom 3 times.
Yeah.
Most of them weren't with my boyfriend.
No, you didn't even like him. If you listened to the last week's. But I would say that, the advice that you have this one time when someone's taking care of everything for you, AKA your parents.
Yeah, that's us.
Everything.
Live it.
You don't have to think.
Mm-hmm.
You have to worry about so little. And I know you can't see that right now.
See, don't you think you did it right too?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I grew up I when I got a job, I should have stayed in school. I would have had to but
all of high school, because our girls are in high school, let's say.
Yeah.
All of high school. You never had a serious boyfriend, right?
No, no. But 16, 17, yeah, I did.
Boyfriends, but
16, 17.
I didn't feel like it was serious.
Yeah. I would say that I hope that realize what your relationship is with that person. And if they at all are like questioning what you're doing or who you're talking to, immediately know.
Immediately know.
If it's difficult, if you fight and make up, immediately know.
Oh, all that the jealous stuff. What a waste of fucking time. And then everybody cries.
Immediately know.
And then he goes and dates someone else, and then it's so upset. It's like, oh,
immediately
my God.
know.
You got to find the fun and if you're gonna have relationships, keep them light. I focus think on you.
Yeah, and
your girlfriends.
I miss the time when you used to go in groups. And you'd like kind of be dating like the groups. Oh, there'd be a whole bunch of crushes within the group. So like your friend and you would have the crush and the friends, and like it was like group dating. I don't know if anyone else experienced group dating, but group dating was like
like I just dated my friend's boyfriend, my friend's boyfriend's friend, because it was convenient. We just kind of pretended.
Yeah, no, and I think that if you have a child who's a serial dater, like long termer. Like someone who keeps marrying someone, like they get out of a 2-year and they go into a 2-year. There's something deeper there that is going on.
Well, I also think like it's really fun to meet new people. So you meet your new friends all the time, but even if you're gonna like have these little romances, it's really fun to get to know, because boys and girls are very different. They very much are. I think there's not. I don't have a ton in common with a lot of men. I think when they say women are from whatever and men are from, I feel that so much. I feel my brain works like a girl, even though I've got high testosterone. I work like a girl. I think like a girl. And the only guys that I'm friends with are more on the girlish kind of side.
Yeah.
Or like gay guys I can get along with.
Yeah, level set your expectation. Like level set early.
Get to know different kinds of guys, because you might just think, oh, this guy seems like great. How would you possibly know? You got to meet different kinds of people.
You can't know. You can have feelings for them and remember, you're in school, so you're meeting very few people. The world's so big.
Oh my
so
gosh.
your comparison, if he's like the best catch, I mean, you don't know what when they're going to
You should have seen what the best catch in our high school was. I should see him now.
Yeah.
There are people that peak in high school. But also, I think and just think about how big their world is, because we didn't have online dating.
And two things. If you really don't like the person you're with and you break up with them, or they break up with you, don't be like, if your friend goes and dates them, don't be like, I date, who fucking, you don't like them.
Right.
Just let it go. Okay, cool. I hope you like him, because like it's not.
The pool's really small here, until you get out there.
I would just, if you really care about them, that's something different. But if you're like, I hate him, and you really do,
let him go.
Literally,
let her try him out for a ride.
Yeah. And if he was a jerk to you, he's going to be a jerk to her too, because they're too young not to be there at that age until they get older. So I really hope that like the whole possession and like, you like, we
haven't been like with our 7 kids. And I know that a lot of you guys listening are there, and it can be a really beautiful and magical thing. We haven't gotten to the point where any of our kids are in a serious relationship that we know the partner, like barely anyone's ever been. There's not much been going on.
Yeah.
So we haven't hit that part where one of them is going to get into a serious relationship. It's just going to be so weird.
I joke around a lot, but I'm kind of serious at the same time when sometimes I feel like there's, a lot of pressure on kids in sports and like where they want to go and what they're going to get in scholarships. Like there's a lot of conversation around, if you're putting your kid in such a high level of sports at such a young age and like training them so hard for what? Like really, is it for them? Is it for you? Is it for their school? Like who wants this? Because there's gonna be a lot of disappointment when I always say they're one girlfriend away from no longer wanting this type of life, or they're one party away when they get to miss out and they're like, I have so much FOMO from not wanting to do this, or because their world is so small. And I think that it's like, the more open we can be with what they choose, the better opportunities we have for them to figure out who they are as people. Because I think when we ride them so hard, that sounds dirty. When we ride the kids so hard, they don't have a lot of time to stop and think about who they are, what they want, where they want to go in life, what they want to do in life. And I think sometimes we escape into relationships because someone's listening to us. Someone gives us all of their attention, and it's so easy to be like, oh my God, I love you. When you're like, you don't know you, so you can't love you.
Yes. And you know what? I feel like in our 20s, there was a time, and I didn't feel this that much, but I watched it happen a lot, was They went to school. They were busy. They went to university and then they got home and they were like, I have never considered what I want for my life because I was just going through all the motions I was told to do, you know?
And then you have your checklist of what you think your parents want you to date and you go and fucking date it. And then you're like, oh, wait a minute. I don't think I actually want this type of life because so often we're not taught to stop and like think about what do you want? Like, what do you want things to look like? We just get caught up in what we think it should be. And I can think of people I personally dated that was more of what I thought I should be with rather than even knowing if that's something I really wanted to be with because you just don't, no one stopped and was like, what do you like? What do you want? And I actually had that conversation with our girls before we got to Do You Want a Boyfriend? I was like, what do you look for? What do you like in a person? And they were like, why?
My daughter had already had a conversation a couple of days with me like that. She's like, I want someone who's just like, she definitely said she wants someone who's kind of easygoing.
Yeah.
Like, who's like, yeah, sure. Oh, no? Okay. That's fine too.
Yeah. With the two of them, that'd be terrible. Okay. You? I don't know. You? Sure.
But it sounds like someone fun. You know what I mean?
Who
likes
someone's
to
really
do
funny.
Things. And
But I don't know how many people ask their kids those questions.
Well, I remember one class we had, in like it was an OAC, so like a grade 13 class, and it was like rank the things that you think would be most important in a partner, you know, and like it was a long list, but we had to rank them, and it was like I never really thought about like what I would want necessarily because you kind of just like you don't have that much in front of you, so it's kind of like when we were at the resort and Taylor's like, "Guy's cute." I mean, in this resort, like it's like your standards change for before your world gets out there. All you have is right in front of you. It's like you only have for dinner what's sitting in the kitchen. Like, I don't know, maybe you might like, I never even knew I liked an avocado before I left my house. I didn't even know what it was.
I know. But it's I think we like going back to like the beginning of like relationships and what we put weight on and like what we like, you know, we care. We're basically, if you think about it, we're like creating the foundation of what they look for in people without ever even talking to them about it. Like who is forming what we're just assuming they are just going to like be attracted to someone without letting them know, well, actually a lot of more matters in your life about rather than just being like, it's not just chemistry. And I think that no one teaches you. It's not just this whole notion of like, you'll just know bullshit. Like there's so much more that goes into you'll just know. You
know, the one thing that like, I don't go to church. I'm not religious, but for some reason I got married in a church and therefore I had to go do those like
courses,
meet with it was more like meet with the minister,
conjugation,
whoever the guy was that married us, who was a really cool dude. Whatever he was married to with kids.
Yeah. Minister.
And he was like asking different questions and he was just saying like important things like people don't tell you that you should probably discuss finances. Like a lot of you hear these stories about marrying someone then finding out they had all this debt or a gambling problem and not knowing anything about their finances. That when you're young, does that seem like a shallow conversation to have and maybe inappropriate? Yes. In real life, very important to have.
Well, and think about it. Some story I know where I was talking to a person and they were like, well, I would love to stay at home, but they won't, that my partner does not agree with that and thinks that I should not, like, that's not attractive to him for me to stay at home. And I'm like, that could be a massive, with 4 children. And if you are stretched to the limit because you're doing everything and then you have to go get a job and and still show up and do all of the volunteer shit that you really wanted to do with your kids, you can imagine when they grow up, you're like, fuck you. Yeah. I wanted that. I mean, if you can afford it, but if you didn't talk about it,
yeah,
and you're just kind of like, oh.
And you might think like, oh, I think that's what he wants. I mean, it seems like that's what he wants. Maybe that's what his mom was like. So maybe that's what he'll want. And then you get there and he's like, no, like, I wanted this to be like a dual income, how we were both working.
Yep.
I want the kids to be in daycare. What? I wanted a nanny. I want to be like all these things that you like don't get to thinking about because it just doesn't feel like an appropriate, like a important conversation before it actually matters.
Did we take a break? Yeah, we did, right?
Twice.
Okay. I was also going to say like my daughter did a speech recently about school and the pressures and, you know, she did a ton of research on it. Like she had to have facts to back it up. And the one conclusion is we put so much pressure on achievement, right? And like achieving like grades and achieving, like probably a boyfriend, a certain, like achieve.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a conversation. I just said to her, I'm like, I go, what you all are going through with the managing the expectations of all the achievement and then managing relationships and then trying to find someone who you're supposed to do, like all of the things you're trying to manage is so insane. And no one in school or in your life is probably stopping and looking at you and being like, so do you know what do you like about that friend? What do you like about that friend? What are the qualities that make you feel safe with a person?
Mm-hmm.
When you actually stop, and if we could just build up who they were, their life choices of partners and friends and like who they chose to date would be so much more fulfilling for them than just, we think they have to get into these relationships to like learn how to be treated. And I'm like, we can avoid that by teaching them, what to look for. What are you willing to accept? Even in friendships, what are you willing not to accept? If someone's going to treat you like, because how many of our children have friends that we don't agree with how they treat our kids?
Mm-hmm.
Probably at least one or two. Everyone can say, I don't like how this person treats my child, but they're a friend, and that's that friend that's like that. We go like that, right? And I'm like, if we taught them, are you willing to accept that every day? Because for some, that will be their fucking life with their life partner. And
I mean, it's the same kind of thing within like classes or topics that they enjoy. Like I'll never forget when this one teacher said, if a kid is naturally good at something, that's a whisper.
Yes.
As to what because they're not good at it because they're just good at it. They're good at it because they have an interest in it.
Yeah.
So it's the
They'll
same thing with being attracted to a particular kind of a personality. It's
unless you're insecure and they bring you something that you just are like, oh, I like that because it makes me feel like this. So I'm saying, if you can fucking drill into them for like, if we spent like as much time on that Pragathan theory or whatever the fuck it's called and the dissecting shit, how much more if they were like, let's dissect you, not physically, but emotionally.
Definitely Taylor's taking a class just like that.
Right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's so much about digging into her very own self of who she is.
Well, that's very rare.
It's called Designing Your Future. And it's not a class that you take and like you can actually submit to a university, but it is.
Well, it should be mandatory. They actually should want that, and they should actually want to see it. Every university should actually want to see that course.
And also, like, kids really like to talk about themselves.
Some.
Right.
Some.
My daughter loved that class.
And she's really good at self-reflecting, but that's a skill. And not everyone even knows what questions to ask. But she is a processor. She's a natural processor, which is great. But, she's going to need the right partner to process with her. And she's also like, and someone who's not a processor, can they sit and listen to someone all fucking day who's processing? I don't know. But it's like these things that they know. She now knows she's a processor. Even from that very class, having to talk about it, write about herself. She's like, I fucking love this.
I love talking about myself.
But some people
and it's like
aren't.
It's like her best friend says, you talk about yourself all the time. So she wrote on her birthday card.
She calls me and talks about herself.
She talks to my mom about herself.
It's the fucking best shit in the world.
She's very interested in herself. She loves finding out things about herself. You're wearing a different wedding ring.
Yeah, I thought it was the same one. Because I took them all off for our trip.
That's so funny that you didn't wear them on a trip. I ran into a girl at the bar and I said, I love your engagement ring. And she goes, it's a fake. I wouldn't wear my real diamond to Dominican. I remember back in the day, people used to take off their diamonds because they thought they'd cut off their finger.
Oh, I wasn't afraid of that. I just was like, with the lotion and the like slipping off, like things just.
And also like the swing.
Well, I take off my rings. Oh, right, when you swing. But I take off all my rings at nighttime.
I can't. I would have lost. I can't believe you don't lose it.
I know, but it's a habit. Like, I don't even know I'm doing it. Sometimes I wake up, I'm like, oh my fuck, where's my rings?
I would prefer to not wear my rings because I think it would feel better.
Yeah.
But I am not responsible.
Yeah, so I know. I just know not to do it. I'm like, when I sometimes I leave them for tour, but sometimes I take them out. Really dangerous.
Very dangerous.
But
every nice earring I've taken on tours gone.
No, yeah, you can't bring earrings on tour. I've lost all mine too. So I take off I was like, I've got to leave them. I just wore like a small band that I didn't feel. But I was like, if I wore it and it came off, I'd be like, oh my God. I'm searching in the ocean for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or searching like in the sink that I dropped. So yeah, that's, well, I guess we'll have to give our advice to our 20-year-old selves or 30-year-old selves. And if you have any questions about like, if you're in a phase and you want advice for it, I do think that, I think a lot of parents need to get better at helping put the advice back on their kids to look into who they are for their own answers, because most likely they have them. They just don't even know how to pull them out yet.
Mm.
But you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And you should do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if like having sex just like with a bunch of people, what's that scene like as now? Because it used to be mean you're insecure.
Oh.
Remember? Like they're like, oh, she gets around, so don't date her. She gets a. My eyes, what is going on?
Just so you know, this one that got around in high school, I don't think I told you.
No.
She has an OnlyFans now.
Good for her.
And I was like, she has always been a sexual being.
Yeah.
The fact that she's making money off of her sexuality now is a perfect fit. I don't think it seems bad at all.
No. I guess you got to know your own reason why.
Mm-hmm. And if it's not coming from a trauma and it's not coming from an insecurity.
Oh, and it's not coming from someone pressuring you because they said they're going to leave you if you don't sleep with them.
But when a guy sleeps around, he was never insecure.
Or was he? And we just didn't label it.
We didn't label it. No, I don't think he was. He probably just liked having sex, just like she did.
Yeah.
Unless she had.
No.
There's so many different kinds. We just can't put people in a box, can we?
Nope. And you can't put it in my box either. Leave us a comment. DM us.
Just so you know.
Munch.
We are ranked the #1 2-mom podcast in the world.
Not two. Number.
2-mom. It's a 2-mom podcast thing. I know, a little specific. Still. There's a lot of duos out there now, Kat. How about 2 women? Let's just say 2 women. 2 women.
I'm going to go beat the shit out of that one.
Mm-hmm.